Historic vote to ban TikTok brings up so many questions. 170 million Americans are on TikTok, and many wonder if it really is a threat to our national security. Now, this is not the first time a Chinese-owned social media platform was forced to sell in order to stay here in the U.S. The world's most popular gay dating app, Grindr, was also forced to sell back in 2020 over fears that it would use people's personal information, including their HIV status, to blackmail U.S. citizens. Rachel Fizet is a white-collar defense and complex litigation attorney. She joins us live. Rachel, it's good to see you. Thanks for helping us break this down. And let's talk about the Grindr case quickly. That did not seem to raise the same red flags as TikTok. That sale did not rankle people this way. Why is that?
The difference here is that the ban of TikTok is going through Congress, and that is not what happened in the sale of Grindr, the forced sale of Grindr. The forced sale of Grindr was mandated by a government agency known as CFIUS, and CFIUS is charged with finding threats to national security through investment by foreign countries, and they do have a particular focus on China much of the time. So Grindr was told by CFIUS that that sale needed to go through. Here, CFIUS has investigated TikTok, but they are not at this moment involved in what would be the ban of TikTok or the sale of TikTok. Instead, that is going through Congress. And it's just a different mechanism that's being used. And it's a bit confusing, actually, why it is not CFIUS that is mandating this.
Yeah, why isn't it? Do you know the answer to that question? Why not just take that route?
CFIUS has investigated. The reports are that CFIUS has been investigating, but they have been silent for months now. And it is unusual that CFIUS would not be involved in this type of ban. And it is true. It is unclear what their role is at this point.
Rachel, in a nutshell, can you explain the national security risk of TikTok? Because I think a lot of people understand, it is a time waster. It is this like opium for the masses almost. It can just rot your brain, and also just the insidious sort of influence of serving you certain kinds of content on a massive scale. I understand that. I have a family member who uses TikTok a lot, and she was like, I don't care if the Chinese spy on me. What can they possibly see on my phone that's interesting? I'm not a top secret person. What would you say to the American who says, all apps access personal data? What's the issue here?
I think the issue here is twofold. One is the access to personal data on a massive scale. And that is the Chinese government learning basically the habits, the whereabouts, and various private information from U.S. citizens. And it's not an individual knowledge. I think it's more of a mass knowledge, knowing our patterns, what we like, basically able to get inside of our minds. And that leads us to the second point. And the second point is the influence they can have once they understand the American public, our likes, our dislikes, our habits, how they can now influence our habits, our likes, our dislikes, perhaps our political preferences, and how we do things. And that's really the twofold concern: the knowledge and then the influence. And that's really, I believe, the national security concerns that are being discussed, because they can't point to one particular thing. It's more of this mass knowledge.
If this passes in the Senate, and I know we'll be monitoring that, what does it then face? The TikTok ban, will it certainly face an uphill battle of legal challenges at that point? And will the precedent set by Grindr be used to argue for the need for better protections of our data?
I believe we have a huge legal battle as to First Amendment rights that then step in if it is banned. And the influence that TikTok has here, we saw very high influential lobbyists, and they have so much money, and they will fight this until the death, because I think there is something behind the national security threats. They don't just want to sell for billions of dollars. They want to keep TikTok a Chinese company. And so it will continue to be challenged if indeed it passes through the Senate and is signed into law.
I'm glad you bring up the First Amendment. Of course, we're seeing TikTok raising a lot of opposition. We see people arguing that the government is cutting people off from their First Amendment right to free expression. If this all passes, does this open a Pandora's box to allow more government censorship?
It does. It opens up Pandora's box, but First Amendment rights are generally balanced with harm. And that is going to be up to the courts. What harm do they see in TikTok versus people's individual First Amendment rights? It will be incredibly interesting going forward, as if it's banned, this will stay in the courts for years to come.
Rachel, can I ask you, do you have TikTok on your phone?
I do not.
You do not. She walks the walk and talks the talk. All right, Rachel Fizet, I always appreciate your insight and time. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.